Ruler School is brought to you by Odyssey Games, where you can go to get singles for all your Force of Will and other trading card games, as well as these amazing patrons.
Thank you for your support. Enjoy the video.
Alright guys, so welcome to the Rogues Guild. We are running another gauntlet. This gauntlet is going to feature our boy Derek, new recruit onto the Rogues Guild. Just took down the Minnesota Vite Ramen Circuit at Svetlana's with his first place Brunhild Esper list. In our Discord, we've been talking about this list for a little bit now. It's something that has shown up in the chat, and it's been in my mind, it was like a very original concept to control coming into, like, with all the new cards that we had got, and so it's kind of evolved from there into what we're at. Dude, thanks a lot for the follow, buddy. We appreciate you. So it's kind of evolved from there into this winning deck that we've had, you know, with a couple... Oh shit, this is Steven's game. And so it's for him to go take that up there and win with it. It was absolutely fantastic to see. So I believe that this is not... There's a chance that this isn't a tier 1 deck, right? That there was just a tier 1 pilot flying really good cards, you know what I mean? Like, and sometimes that just happens. But that's what we're gonna kind of test here. Is we're gonna see, how does this do against a refined Zeus Alice deck? How does this do against a refined Perfect Loki Athenia deck? How does this do against a Melgus? You know, kind of throw it through the gauntlet in that way, and so we'll end up seeing how this goes. So this is going back to Derek's roots. Derek was Brunhild all last year. He won his GP on a black altar Brunhild. He took it to nationals. He, I believe, even had it down in Arizona when he played in Arizona. So this is where he wanted to start, and so it's this will be a very interesting match. So what Jeremy is trying to do is Jeremy's going to try to get an Adam Engrave sometime and just kind of play the control route, in a sense, to then, whenever he's comfortable and whenever he feels like he can get away with it, he'll yokai into 2 Zeus Alices and begin the beatdown from there. So turn 1, Guinevere for Jeremy, and turn 1 pass for Derek is very interesting. So he didn't slam the Dark Alice. So hitting white out the gate is not what he wanted to see here. The best line there would have been if he had started black and hit the Layla, then into white could have Dark Alice Layla triggers, which is when that starts to feel really good, right? So not seeing black will end up forcing his hand here. So just using that white for a Whispers. I don't know why he didn't do that turn 1. So with a Guinevere on board, those Blade of Faiths, they're not too good. Whatever's going to get targeted with any kind of removal like that is just going to get removed from the game. God, 3 stones. All right, we're going to look. I got his list right here. Woof. He is playing 6 white sources. He's playing 9 black and 6 white sources. Woof. Well, he ain't doing anything till he gets some black going. So because of the way he started here, he ended up just making a play to force Adam to get rid of that mana dork. It still generates Adam way more advantage than you ever want, but like when you're sitting on 3 white right now, there isn't anything that he wants to be doing here. So Adam's in the grave, so we are fully triggered and ready to just go off We have a Magic Stone of Omniscience, so we don't even need a Dark Alice online to get the Yokai Festival going. We would just pay 1 extra and get that green that we need. So this Forest of the Lost Misty Woods, this is the spice of the deck, right? This is your 2 colorless instant speed Kaguyas. This is your instant speed Adams if you need it, instant speed Dark Alice. Like, this is, look at your top cards, and I'm pretty sure he's playing like 16 Fairy Tales, so this card replaces itself when it enters the field, so it's already good, and then it just sits there. For 2 colorless, he'll be able to play anything out of his grave that he wants. So like right now, that's a Zeus Alice. There's a Zeus Alice in the grave that at the end of his opponent's turn, he can get out onto the field if he wants with his 2 free will. So Derek doing a good job of being mana efficient at this point. Not the most optimal use of Dark Alice because he really wants to start sacking some stuff to it, but with 2 Layla and 2 Altar in hand, he has the sack outlets to go. It's just without all the black that you need to get this bad boy going. So the only thing missing from the grave right now to have Dark Alice turned on is a stone. So he'll need another Dark Alice trigger to get rid of a stone. So what he's going to do now is he just sacked a Guinevere to draw 2 cards to put a Kaguya into the graveyard. Okay? And then to put the Kaguya into the graveyard, he's now going to get that back with the Misty Woods. So even though when he played the Altar, there wasn't a Kaguya engraved, Guinevere allowed him to shape that turn, shape that answer into his graveyard. And so this is one of the things that Adam really does to a big brain player, is it allows you to disguise a lot of it disguises a lot of your reactions. It disguises a lot of your answers. So this is going to be a very good position for Jeremy going forward. I think he's, what do we got here? Draw 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So he's going to be at 8 cards. 8 cards in hand. Going to 4 stones. So Jeremy still has the Adam. So nothing there. Jeremy doing a very good job of swinging. Swing before you do anything. Doesn't matter what deck you're playing. If you've got stuff that you know you're going to swing with, always swing before you play cards. So because Dark Alice is on the field, he has perfect color. So he's doing a good job right now of just tapping down the basic stones. So the ones that only tap for themselves, if for some reason Derek ever does have an answer for this Dark Alice, like he'll be in 3 colors still. So doing a very good job of getting this one tapped down for the Misty Woods. Did he whiff? Moved 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, he whiffed. That's impressive. So this Light of Sacred Spirit here, this is actually very interesting. So essentially what he's showing here is that he has 2 answers to an activated Zeus Alice right out the gate. So these Zeus Alices, Jeremy's going to have to be very good with his turn in making sure that like these Zeus Alices, when they land, that they land. You know what I mean? So plays a Layla and then attempts to play an Altar. In response to Altar on the chase, he bounces the Layla so that the Layla isn't a sack target for the sacrificial Altar. That would have been a perfect time to have a Dark Alice in hand, but nothing he could have done there. So then end of turn, he's just going to use his Dispel here to pop that Sacrificial Altar. I would sack Altar. Yep, sack the Dark Alice to the Altar. Go for 1 counter and go get another 1-drop. Probably just another Dark Alice. And I would aim for another Dark Alice, and I'd hit one of these stones right now. But since he is Esper, I don't know if he needs the colors as much as I think he does. Whenever I play these decks, like, I really want to be in 5 color, right? So I wouldn't mind sacking a stone here. Again, though, this isn't my deck, you know what I mean? So, like, right now, he's got 7 cards in grave. Draw, discard, that's that. So he drew a Satan, which sucks because he probably wants to pitch the Satan, but he's also probably thinking about that stone too. So, yep. So he goes for the stone, he goes for the colors. This makes Perfect Loki live right now for 8. It doesn't answer. A Perfect Loki right now doesn't answer a Zeus Alice if it were to hit. And then I believe there is not another Kaguya in grave right now, but he does have Perfect Will, so like this is a very powerful position for him. So like another thing that Jeremy could have done, like Jeremy's been doing a good job of controlling this deck as it is right now, but so did he swing for 7? He did. So he swung for 7, got in there again and started playing cards. So another thing that Jeremy can do with this deck and with the Bewildering Charm, which is probably one of our best bounce spells that we have in the game right now again, is just to bounce that Kaguya to replay Kaguyas. Like in the Worlds format, they were doing it with Bastet and with Chant of Tranquility and stuff along those lines. So now in blue, we have that awesome utility card that just lets you bounce anything, either your opponent's or your own, or draw a card if you're at a point where you don't actually want to bounce anything and you just need draw power, you know. So the unchaseable Zeus's Grand Lightning is a very good play here. That means that that means that there's nothing. He has to float whatever he's got to float right now, and that's it. So his turn is locked. If I had to guess, he floated. If I had to guess, he floated blue-black. Okay. Where did the Guinevere go? So he Erenditted the inner trigger on the Perfect Loki. Where did that Guinevere go? Oh, he decided not to play the Guinevere. He played the Zeus's Grand Lightning instead. So that Satan's pretty dead weight in hand. Jeremy doesn't really have to force anything right now, and that's like the biggest thing with this Adam deck is like a lot of people are mistaking the Zeus Alice as like the I rush to a Zeus Alice, and that's not the case. This Adam deck can just grind until the Zeus Alice is safe, and then once the Zeus Alice play is safe, then he'll go, you know. So it'll be very interesting to see how this turns out late game. Right now it feels like all Adam, but there are cards that haven't been played yet, you know, in terms of like resources used. Like, there's still options right now for Derek's deck, and Derek plays pretty low to the ground. So we are swinging with an 8-9, and I wonder where we're going with this. We probably wouldn't swing it face. Ah, we did. We swung it face. Passing the turn. Tapping 2. Sacking Misty Woods. Inner abilities are kind of the only things you can Erendite. So Erendite, we'll look it up here real quick just to make sure. Cancel target automatic ability of a resonator, right? So Lorite also hit activated abilities when it was going, but so yeah, as long as it's an automatic ability, and inner effects, those are automatic abilities of resonators. If you have anything else specifically, like exit triggers, like enter the grave triggers, those are also automatic abilities. But like tap effects, those are activated abilities, so Erendite wouldn't do anything for that. So on his opponent's turn, it looks like let's see, the way the order was done on this is it was moved Zeus Alice from discard to play, and then Perfect Loki'd in response. So Adam tapped himself out, and in order to... No, he didn't tap himself out. I think he left one open, but did the Misty Woods to go get the Zeus Alice. So this will be interesting, because right now everything should be pretty vulnerable. And it's just still, though, like, it's not, because Derek doesn't have any interaction with the grave right now. Someone told me he can't. Yeah. Is it true Erendite can stop Motoko? Let me just make sure it doesn't target resonator. Cancel target automatic ability of a resonator. So yeah, it can stop. It can stop the drain trigger, but that's all it can stop. Oh, but yeah, no, Applebird, you're right. Yeah, so if you awaken it, then yeah, absolutely. Like, yeah, that's a 4-drop answer to that card entering the field, so. Oops, got fuzzy. Nice fuzzy. So, we saw... What did we see? We probably saw one instance, and then a Kaguya, potentially. So, Magic Stone, Heat Ray, Laser... So, one Zeus Alice got removed with Light, and then they tried to do a Raise and Revive, and he lighted it again. So, it wasn't able to answer both Zalises, but was able to get a Light of Raise and Revive out of his opponent's hand. So, that was very good. The grind is still on, 50-24, and Zeus Alice that is still currently unkillable. You got to get after that grave, and so this is where that Perfect Loki pairs very well with Athenia, right? So the Perfect Loki Athenia lock, the soft lock that you get from there, is really where this kind of stuff thrives, because Perfect Loki has done a fantastic job of maintaining the board, and if at any time while maintaining the board, if he was able to rip the Atom out, then these Zeus Alices would have died with, everything else that's dying on the board. So not being able to interact with the grave right now is kind of hurting Brunhild, but doing a very good job of staying in this. So Scorched Bale still has a full gambit of searches. Still looking at 2 of the... Hey, look at this. So hard casting Satan without any counters from the removed area, but still just doing the enter effect, right? So the enter effect says that choose 1. Your opponent banishes a resonator, and repeat this process until the combined total cost of resonators is equal to the greater than the number of fallen counters. So at least has to trigger once, right? So he was playing Satan to force the banish on Zeus Alice, right? So in response, he discarded an Acolyte. Oh. Oh, okay. He banished so he discarded another Adam, discarded a Einheiser summon, or not an Einheiser summon, but a messenger, not the messenger of the sun, the little sun girl, acolyte of the sun, and then banished Dark Alice for the Satan trigger. So good way of saving our girl there, but now staring at a 14-14. We can fly over it, so this will just be another 10 damage ping that we just don't have an answer for right now. So I would almost wonder if there's one here, one there. How many are in the grave? 0. If there was 2 in the deck, I would have maybe considered a Yokai Festival to get lethal. I don't know if there was an answer to that. You know what I mean? Like, if he had 3 Zeus Alices on the field, like, I'm positive that's lethal. And I don't know what answer he would have with this 1 white. He probably has enough that he could have Kaguya'd too. So, like, we're talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Leave up 2 for a Kaguya. We're not on Perfect Will. So maybe that was it. Maybe he just didn't want to do that greedy of a play for fear of another one of these Light of the Sacred Spirits. I don't know, man. Let's see if he goes for it now anyway. Because if he has a Kaguya in grave... he had one in hand. That's what it was. Okay. So the Yokai Festival, if both of them were still in his deck, like, that could have been lethal. But didn't happen there. So tricky plays here. All right, if he has a Dark Alice in his hand or any way to sack one of these Zeus Alices, then he can Misty Woods trigger it back to do that final 10, and I really hope he can find a way to do it. Or any bounce spell or anything, right? Or like, because this too, do it. Yeah, there it is. There it is. He's going to sack one of these, and he's going to get it off of the Misty Woods and swing for lethal. Erendite. Oh, did he not Erendite he had it in hand and he didn't Erendite the Dark Alice trigger. Oh, let me just confirm that real quick. Hey, just real quick to confirm, you didn't think that Erenditing the Dark Alice trigger was important?
I didn't have a blue. I left the wrong mana.
He just had faith. He tapped wrong.
That's what it was. You're right.
Yep.
You're
tapped
right.
wrong. Otherwise, I wouldn't have gone for that play. Like, I would have.
Yeah, no, dude. I called it. So like, I knew what you were looking at. Like, I think the Light of Sacred Spirit would have been, and I thought that was the answer you were playing around. But I think even if he did have another remove your thing for 900,
yeah,
like, I still think at 4 and 60, 70, I still think
so
you're in a good spot.
I'll talk about it in post, but like, resolving the Misty Woods essentially wins me the game regardless of what I find, because there's a Kaguya in grave. So I still had a 2-drop cancel, like, for whatever, and then being at that higher life. But we'll talk about that in the post.
Cool. So yeah, there you have it. The full utility on the Adam deck, kind of strong right there at the end. Oh man, drop big things, flashing in Dark Alice. I don't believe Satan has flying. Satan has big ass wings, but I don't think Satan flies. Just another creature with wings that can only walk to work. Can't fly. So yeah, he did not have the will for that Erendite. Very, very interesting. So let's look at Derek's sideboard here real quick. So when I'm going into these control matches, for sure, those Look Corruptions come in. For me, knowing what my opponent has in his hand, like, really makes these control matches, like, a lot better for me, because I know you know, and I mean, it's really easy just to say, it's like, yeah, I know what they're playing around at that point, but like, it really does. When you know what the threats are and when you know what to play around, like, it just makes these matches go a ton different. So those look at corruptions would come in for me. Light of Raise and Revive is a good answer for Alice. It's just another, so like for sure this 4th Light of the Sacred Spirit comes in. These Athenias probably come in. We're getting really greedy on color there though. So like a lot of this sideboard would answer what's happening here, right? So like the Loki's Insights, but like he's playing pretty efficiently out of the grave with the Misty Woods, so I wouldn't probably play those. It'd be probably here in these 6 cards, and I don't know what 6 would come out. I'd probably end up taking a Zeus Alice out, just because you're not activating yours as easy. These Blade of Faiths. No, Blade of Faith needs to stay in. Ooh. Severing Blade. Severing Blade comes out, so there's 3 there. Probably come down on the Estem account. That would be my guess. Alice, 2 Estemas, 3 Life Severing Blades.
I have arrived.
Yeah, that's what I'd go for. Patrick.
Hi.
Alright, so we missed a little bit of the start of this game, but it looks like Jeremy started first, went Acolyte, pass, Derek hits a Whitestone again out the gate, pass, Acolyte with a Dark Alice, puts Adam in Raise and Revive. So Adam's online. This was Jeremy's whole weekend. There was no missing on Adam. So
yeah. Except for like 1 game.
So Whispers of the Angel, effective use of his 1 will. Probably really hoping he sees a black right now. Probably.
Nope.
I think I'm gonna have to get Derek's opinion. I'm gonna have to get Derek's opinion on whether or not he functions well when he hits double white like this.
That was my whole weekend. Just hit 4 Scorch Fails when I need to Heat Raise, or hit 4 Heat Raise when I need Scorch Fails.
Yeah. Pat, you sound pretty low to me. Stream. Is Pat low on you?
My game's a little low.
Yeah, you're pretty quiet. I don't even know if they can hear you over the music. I don't know if they can hear the music.
Oh, no.
Oh, so tapping, playing his own Whispers off of the Acolyte, and then playing Dispel to just gain 1,000. Knowing that he's that play telegraphs Kaguya in hand. Knowing that he's playing against an altar deck and he killed an altar last time with the spell, not leaving it down is signaling that he has the Kaguya in hand. Bouncing. Interesting.
Bouncing Acolyte's weird.
Bouncing Acolyte to play Acolyte. It's a pass turn. I don't know. I don't know
I am
what.
very confused.
I have no idea what that play line was even for.
Oh, he used Fallen Angel from Grave. Look. He used Fallen Angel from Grave to kill the Acolyte and he bounced it.
Ah. How did he get a Fallen Angel engraved? Just discarded a card because he had 8?
Probably discarded a card at end of turn.
Wow. I feel like I kind of would have just let it die. Doesn't this deck play Einheiser Summon?
Nope.
You sure?
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm pretty sure.
So I guess he really cares about that Acolyte. I wouldn't care that much about the Acolyte.
It's a Yokai Festival, Dispel, Whispers, Grand Lightning,
Yeah.
and
Soul Resonance?
yes.
Interesting.
Pretty sure.
So now we have an altar online.
Yeah, full resin. At least what he played at the weekend at full resin.
Ah! That resolved.
I love that card. That card's so good against Alice.
So this is actually interesting then. So my guess is with the first raise and revive pitch, that means he probably has another in hand. Which means instead of using the Kaguya for this, he's just going to raise and revive it back. Which is probably why he didn't Kaguya. I would still say he has a Kaguya in hand, or else that doesn't explain why we used to Dispel to gain life. So 2 for an invitation. I think that is going to hurt.
And that's an Erendite?
That is an Erendite. So he still has... So now we're tapped out. And that's an issue. Because we have a sacrificial altar on board. We have... Oh, the blue. The blue is tapped down again. So... Oh, what are we playing? We probably have our black.
We spent 1 to remove the Satan.
Yep. So we have our black and a white. We're probably trying to figure out how the hell to take advantage of this situation that we have right now. Because he has an altar. It's clear to use. Everything is clear to use. Everything's clear to wipe. Like, you can... Oh, I just don't think he has the will to do it.
Man, if I was playing right now, I think Derek would just be dead. Making a joke, I'm sorry. Red deck, go face.
So... I think he's still thinking about the cards.
And something else engraved?
Yeah, well, he's thinking about the cards that he's putting in there. So this one Fallen Angel is going in, and he's thinking about what else he wants to put in.
You want to kill the Dallas, but...
I mean, but you have a perfect Loki in hand. And, like, that's what sucks. So ended up opting for a Dark Alice. Oh. How did he have the will to... Oh! Energize. Okay. So, that's fine. That's fine as long as he doesn't hit an Omniscient Stone. If he hits an Omniscient Stone, this is gonna hurt. Huh?
It's Jeremy. He's going to.
Ouch. Yeah, that's a yokai. Oh, not doing a yokai. Okay, so still taking the control route here. That's interesting. That's interesting. I feel like I would have taken this opportunity to go for it. I mean, I understand that, like, everything is open, right? And maybe that's kind of what's got him thinking.
I think he's worried about the clapback.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess it's not really the clapback, like, because there is no clapback when you're at that much life. It's just the ability to clear your grave. You know what I mean? So Jeremy is still playing with will to protect his grave. You know what I mean?
This is 5-color Brunhild, right?
It's not 5 colors. It's well, I guess, yeah.
5 colors on the
Yeah,
board.
no, you're right.
On the board, but
You're right. Yeah, and honestly, yeah, I mean, Toby, I think that's a difference in playstyle. You know what I mean? It's like,
so I just noticed that somebody uploaded the promo Scorch Bales, but nobody's uploaded the promo Light Vapors apparently. because neither of them are using it. It's Eric's favorite card. And he does have 3 runes revealed.
So, playing the Astema, gain some life, probably draw a card. Maybe not. Yeah, drawing a card.
Yeah, draw a card.
Half the perfect Lokis, but really...
Can't play the perfect Loki.
I felt like I would have tried to get the Astema online.
I mean, she is online.
No, I mean, I apologize, not the Athenia. I tried to get the Athenia on the field. Because, like, right now we're just on...
But I don't think, since he doesn't have a way to protect it right now, he'd, like, Jeremy would just pick it off with the Zalus.
So Jeremy's gonna take a nice
insight.
little gander here.
That's, either pick double Erendite or pick double Ploki or take one of each.
Well... I mean, honestly, Jeremy will just look at this hand and know that his Yokai Festival's fine.
Yeah, that's probably the main reason. I need his festivals next turn.
But I mean, again, like that's kind of the way that this Adam deck can function, though. Like, it doesn't have to make that move right now, and that's.
Sacrifice, I'm gonna alter, get Dallas.
Yep.
Dallas sack is going to get perfect will, play Floki.
Well, I mean, Ploki really doesn't. Ploki doesn't.
I know it doesn't do much, but it's like it's something. I don't know.
I mean, it makes his turn. I don't know. It probably just forces the Zeus Alice play line. So I mean, the Athenias are in hand, but like that stone has to go. Ugh. So he's in perfect will.
Yeah.
Takes care of Dark Alice and keeps everything off the board except for Zeus Alice's. So...
This is at the beginning of Jeremy's turn or at the end of Derek's turn?
No, this is the beginning of... Oh, actually, that's a good question. I don't know when Jeremy decided to do this. Hopefully he did it at the end of his opponent's turn. We'll find out.
No, it was at the beginning of his turn.
Well, I know that was after... Oh, because did he already draw?
Yeah.
Oh, he drew. Okay. Drew and probably drew it.
I think he, Why do you call 2 stones? What happened?
Can't he Blade of Faith the Alice away? Yeah. Yeah, he can.
Jeremy?
He's played Forest of the Misty Woods. For one.
Why did he call 2 stones?
Did he call 2 stones?
Oh, there it goes. There he goes. Okay. He fixed it. I think he realized it. He accidentally called 2 stones.
So, finds another Zeus Alice.
And Festival.
Nah, probably not. Because then that taps him out, puts him down to 7. But I mean, yeah, no, I would. Because, like, your opponent has to... Your opponent has to do everything.
They have to get rid of 3 Zaluses.
Which, I mean, they can, though. Like, if they wipe the board in perfect... or if they remove the grade in perfect Loki, like, it handles everything. But...
yeah.
But then they didn't answer, like, the Misty Woods. So, like, that's still on board. All you got to do is get another Atom in. How many Atoms are in here? Ooh, 3 Atoms in the grave, though. That means that I don't know where that 4th Atom's at. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think he has to push it yet. But, like, 3 cards in hand, though. Like, he is getting to a point where his resources are running a little bit low.
It's Babatunde.
Babatunde.
Grand Lightning, but Zalus. Babatunde actually showing up to a gauntlet for once.
Oh, alright. Soul Resonance to get a Dark Alice. I don't know what he grabbed.
He didn't reveal it for us.
Moved unknown from discard to hand. Screw you, buddy.
And I don't know where Zalus went.
So Dark Alice is in the grave. No way of getting back to perfect colors.
What?
Judgment.
Ah.
Judgment into Satan.
Judgment into Satan.
Judgment into Satan. Banish.
Nope.
Yeah, I mean. Well, he knows he's got no way of getting into green right now. Like, I think he's dead. Because he has what in his face down pile? He has Power of Immortality and Freed from the Altar. So he can get another perfect Loki, but
man,
yeah,
I really feel like I should pick up some Athenias before next set, since we're getting green red next set. And that means that you can play red, green, black just fine.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I feel like Derek's deck is super reliant on Dark Alice. Wouldn't it be better for him to make the Brunhild focus on Athenia to control the game, work other stuff? Yeah, and that's what we're gonna end up like talking about is like the perfect Loki lists that we have are more set up to just not get like too off of the mark of like here is perfect Loki, here is Athenia, and now you're soft locked. So but yeah.
And then you precast Athenia's love and kill them anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'm still waiting for us to test all that out, see how that goes.
I was like, can I just say I love my deck?
Yeah, dude, and I'm so sorry that we don't have a GP for you to go shine in. You know what I mean?
God, it's so easy to kill people right now.
The start, that's not something you say on live, dude. That's how you get put on a list. That's how the government starts listening.
If I would be on a list, I would be on a list already. Okay, with the amount of crap that I say while raiding, I would already be on the list.
All right, so why is Zeus Alice here? Raise and revive.
Yep.
Zeus Alice smack, and he for sure has one in hand.
Can we just go? No?
That's another one, and then we have the Misty Woods. So any kind of sack, shit, whatever. He's same way he won the game one. So yeah.
Play a Dark Alice and sack your own Zalus and Misty Woods it back into the field and kill him.
Yep, that's what we did to end the last one. So. Yeah, Jeremy just being super patient, never yokai-ing, never overextending, and just, being grindy, super grindy. Derek's Stone Base.
Cast another one. Cast another one.
Cast a third one. Derek's Stone Base is a problem. That is definitely a problem. So we're gonna have to talk about this. Burial rights. Yeah. Yeah. He was doing just fine. Yeah, he sided into it. Yeah. There's no reason not to in this meta. You know what I mean? Like,
hello.
If you're accidentally goofing around in red, there's no reason not to side into it. Well done, Jeremy.
Yeah. So
real quick, hold on before you go on your thing, Derek.
Yeah.
This Stone Base. This is what you ran. In
and it never failed. Actually, no, I lied. It failed once.
Okay.
That was because I was playing against like Hanzo Makoto.
Timeout.
And I had what?
Real quick for context, did it fail you those 2 games that we just watched?
Sure. Yes.
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 Because that's what I think it did, and I didn't know.
Yeah. No, it did.
Okay. Absolutely. I was
Yeah,
just,
absolutely. I think coming
there's no
from
question.
my side of the table, I think his stone base absolutely screwed him over.
dude. Well, I mean,
like, I have,
honestly, like I was.
9 white
Jeremy,
swords.
you just have like cursed luck for the people
You-
you're playing against. Just have
Like,
awful
literally,
bases.
like-
You're 6 and 9 is what I saw. You're
Mhm.
6 white and 9 black.
Yep.
Whew.
And I saw 4 white both games,
Yeah.
and only 2 black.
I mean, yeah, because I mean, like you're,
And I drew my Satan both games too. That was
dude.
unfortunate.
Yeah,
But
no, I mean, honestly, I was just like,
When you don't get 2 purgatory on 2, like, or 3 even, like that's bound to happen. But
Yeah.
No,
Definitely.
it,
It's
yeah, and I
definitely
was
trouble.
thinking about it game 2 or whatever. I was commentating on it. I didn't know like if your deck was like okay functioning like this. Didn't look
no,
like it.
not really. No,
Fuck.
it's not supposed to function like this.
Yeah. No, I mean it looked like I saw what your deck was trying to do.
Second Erudite, man.
Yeah, like I stopped to note. I was like, oh, this is fine, and then you're just like 3 man. I was like, nope, that doesn't do it.
I mean, what were you gonna Erudite?
Like if you went for the Kaguya line to sack off one, or not the Kaguya, the Dark Alice line to sack off a Zealous,
Oh,
Yeah.
then I can
Yeah.
Erudite the Enter trigger.
One
and
of
then
my
if he
one of my
Kaguya's it, then it's like fine, dude. Misty Woods is gone. So
yeah, one of the play lines was to like I had 2 in hand anyway. So it was a matter of like my upkeep plan was to like draw and then flash in Dark Alice and double draw like just before recovery anyway to like make my hand a little bit more flush. Because at that point in time, like I had the burial rites in hand, but it felt pretty worthless. Like I just was able to get ahead of where I needed to actually care about the graveyard.
Yeah.
So like that was gonna go, and then I just top decked Raise and Revive. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, cool.
I just figured you had one in hand, and I was
No, I
like,
did
oh.
not. No, I did not. I had my 2 cards in hand were my 3 cards in hand were a Zealous, sorry, 2 Zealouses, a Dark Alice, and a burial rites, and then I just top decked the Raise and Revive. I was like, oh, cool. So the Zealous just gets to come back now and upkeep, and then I just get to win.
Yep.
So
Yeah, no, it was awesome to watch this deck run off the way that it did. Like that was
yeah, the opener was like probably the most gas opener I think this deck can have, which is it was Zeus Alice, Raise and Revive, Adam, Dark Alice, and
Acolyte of the Sun.
and no, the Acolyte wasn't there.
You top decked
It
an
was-
Acolyte?
Yeah, I did top deck. No, sorry, you're right. It was the
It played on one.
it was the Acolyte. Like
Yeah.
that's like the most gas opener this deck can possibly have.
Yeah.
Like it's just you just turn it on and then you're just like, oh, cool. Well, I get at least 2 to 3 turns where I get to have perfect will because you probably don't have anything early game to answer Dark Alice, and then you just get to go off from there.
Yeah, watching, I very much am enjoying the versatility on the Forest. Like I
Oh my
really,
gosh, Forest is so good.
I really
Forest
like this
is,
card.
Like Forest is hands down.
But like that's the
like,
thing, Derek.
It's
You
so good.
built this deck last format
Mhm.
for Worlds. Like when we were testing in Worlds, what was missing?
Talking about Misty Woods, the Misty Woods deck.
Yeah, the Misty
Yeah.
Woods.
Acolyte, or sorry, the Lorite exists.
Yeah.
That's
like,
right.
I just
That's
never
the
felt
problem.
good.
Yeah.
Green base Adam was better because green base Adam had Lorites,
That's
not
what
having to
spells.
Yeah.
Lorites, Mirror Spells, Calicos, and an easy
Yeah.
Kaguya time.
Yeah.
When you don't have access to green and you don't have all that
Violas,
hate,
yeah, gray,
like
green,
any of that
yes.
stuff,
All right.
Misty
why.
Woods just gets to run train. It's
Yeah,
the same reason why
this-
it's the same reason why Izanami is so good is because there's nothing to cancel in Izanami right now.
Yeah, exactly.
So Misty Woods pretty much always will replace itself and then just sits on the board until you need it. And then you're just like, oh, cool, pay 2 of any color, get whatever I need.
Yeah. No, this is yeah, and it was literally what I was thinking because I played this deck for the Worlds format. Like as soon as Derek built it, I ran it and I was like, this is fun. I like what's happening here, but like this is literally that deck. and now it's working. And I was like, I couldn't piece it together in my mind there.
Oh, yeah.
Until you said it,
with,
I was just
with
like,
the
why
loss
is...
of, with the loss of green, like the
With
Yeah.
the loss of
Woods
green,
just-
other things get to play the game.
can't Ferris fill my Dark Alices, you can't lower my Dark Alices, you can't lower Misty Woods, you
Yeah,
can't
'cause-
Aaron like half of these triggers, and it's just like
Yeah, and I think the other thing too that's important, I think, to be honest, one of the things that I think gives the Adam deck out, like the Misty Woods is awesome, and like the package of like Dark Alice, Adams Alice, like all that's great, but I think one of the like unsung heroes of this deck that just gives it so much like early game oomph is the Acolyte, because nobody's playing Sandstorm right now. And we have two, not only do we have Dark Alice, but we have two 1-drop instant speed light runes.
Yeah.
So like if your
It'll
opponent
always,
wants to burn,
yeah.
it'll always generate the value.
It'll
and
always
if your
replace
opponent-
itself.
And if your opponent wants to burn a turn trying to kill it, and then we just like, oh, that's cute, I'm gonna just use it, and you just like make your opponent have wasted a turn essentially.
I'm about to
Jeremy, you're
just-
playing 4 Misties, right?
Well, Misty Woods, yeah.
Yeah.
Since we took out the Guibers, we're up to 4 Misty Woods.
God bless. Wait, you weren't playing 4 before?
We were playing 3.
Jesus, I should have smacked Ryan.
'Cause we were playing. Well, we were. So the thing is, we weren't playing as many fairy tales.
Well, that was your
before,
first problem.
because we were only we only went up 1 fairy tale because we added 1 Kaguya, but we were also like we were drawing. We were also playing like Alice's Little Scout and stuff like that with like Guinevere. So like we
I
didn't.
don't know.
So like three was enough because we were just drawing so many cards.
It was like
You
you got a couple cards from the old Turbo Guiber shell, and you were just like, let's try it. And then you
Yeah.
were like, nah.
The problem
mind.
is Guiber, like the Adam deck thrives when it sits on 2 to 3 will during your opponent's turn.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Like-
I'm with you. Like, this is a
Yeah.
very refined list, and getting
Guiber-
off of what Turbo Guiber was doing, yeah, that was a fantastic idea.
Yeah, Guiber just made it so that we were committing will too much on our turn and not sitting in that sweet spot of 2 to 3 will during your opponent's turn, and we just don't need it. Like, it's just not necessary. Guiber's too slow. There's too much that kills him. And I'd rather just like play Raisin Revives and just never run out of Zalus.
Card's
So
good, by the way.
Yep.
card is
Don't
very
let anyone
good.
tell you otherwise.
Raisin Revive is also like
Oh, right.
Raisin Revive is sick. There was actually a moment in that
Revive is
game
good.
when you tapped out to play the altar. I think it was in this game. When you tapped out to play the altar and didn't have a body on board, I legitimately thought about Raisin Reviving your altar just to get it off board.
Oh, the altar was hella bait. Like,
Yeah, but that's why I was like,
my hand was
I was
trash.
like,
whatever.
I was like, you know what? I have a
Don't
Zalus
prove
in.
that for maybe.
I was like, I have a Zalus in hand. It feels better for me to probably just keep this Raisin Revive.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So what I don't know if you want to talk about it all about sideboard stuff.
Are
For
you
the
still
at
main decking.
Oh,
seals?
let me check.
I am main decking. We went down to 3. I'm still main decking 3 seals. There are just some matchups where it's just like your opponent has no way to answer it, and sometimes you're just like, oh, cool, get the flyer out of the way, kill you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's good enough that we can, and also we can like sack it to Dark Alice and like discard. We have enough draw discard that I don't really hate having these 3 situational cards. But for this matchup, I absolutely took it out. And I also took out the 2 perfect Lokis that we're playing in our list. So I took
Okay.
out 5 cards. And then I put in the doubles Loki's in the 2 Loki's Insight and the 3 Burial Rites.
Okay.
God,
And I think that was for the Zeus deck against this perfect Loki deck. I think that was this Esper Brunhild. I think that was absolutely the right choice. Like the Loki's Insight, I think immediately put Derek in a position he didn't want to be in, like forcing to do this really weirdly timed perfect Loki.
To be completely fair,
Sure.
my entire 5 turns, or however many turns we had, was just things I didn't want to do.
Yeah, dude, like
But
his
yes,
whole
yes,
game
yes.
looked like just suboptimal play after suboptimal play because he like
Oh,
his
for sure.
stones were just like, eh.
Yeah, for sure. And that's
But
like
yes,
that's
but
the
yes,
weird. That's the weird
And
risk. And
so,
yeah, go ahead.
I did notice that actually the Loki's Insights that I intended to side in are just not in this deck.
Wait,
So,
oh, you were going for the Loki's Insight? So like when I was looking at your side, like, all right, how many cards did you take out?
I have no idea at this
Did you
point
put in
anymore
Look of
because,
Corruption?
It doesn't look like it.
Ah,
Because because it's like I'm not seeing it in my deck. So I don't know what was going on, but I was having some issues where I would like move a card over to my main board, and then like I would look for a different card to take out. I'd take it out, and then I'd look back over, and then the card that I put in wasn't there. So yeah, I don't know. I just like was like, all right, I was playing 41. I'll just like take out cards till I'm at 41, and then just see what happens.
Jeez. So yeah, like for
I don't have
your
my Loki's
side,
Insights, and I don't have my Look of Corruptions.
for your side, I was thinking the 3 looks and the 2 Athenias and one more of the Light of the Sacred Spirit was coming in. I thought it was just 6. I thought that was all. I didn't think you were gonna bring in the Loki's Insight.
Yeah.
But I mean, honestly, you hit so many blue sources. Putting in more blue cards is probably.
So
right?
it's like that's the weird thing. Like, yeah, the stone bases right now I think are the weirdest part of like any deck. And like the Athenias, knowing the Athenia in hand was like Derek and I talked about it. It's like, isn't it? It's just correct to Grand Lightning the Dark Alice, right? Like just to make sure that you now have 2 dead draws in hand. Like,
yeah.
I even debated discarding one of the Athenias, which I think pretty sure there's a reason why I didn't. I think I had to banish something or other. Oh no, I discarded a Satan, so I could have discarded the Athenia. And then trying to get my Satan up to 3 counters just so I could like put it back into play. But I kept fearing Erendite, so I was just like, I don't think I can.
Yeah, I didn't see him that game.
That game tap out.
Yeah, so he didn't come out. Yeah.
But, oh wait, no, you also had the Kaguya engrave. So yeah, that's why I needed 6 stones so I could tap 5 for the Satan and then hold up the blue for the Kaguya.
Erendite, so that you didn't get. Yeah, so the
Erendite,
the Misty Woods didn't get wrecked. Yeah, for sure, absolutely. The Adam deck is just like
It's very good.
There was nothing like in doing more playtesting with it. It's the stone base doesn't feel awkward at all.
No, doesn't look
there's
like
there's only a few cards in the deck that I care about casting, and the thing is, like, because I have Misty Woods, because I have Raise and Revive, because I have Omniscience, like, I have ways to cast them or bring them in even without having Dark Alice. So like that kind of like compensates for it. So yeah.
Also, Raise and Revive is a good card.
Also, Raise and Revive is a insanely good card.
Don't let anybody tell you otherwise.
Don't let Ryan Miles tell you it's not. Raise and Revive is so good.
I'm with you. All right, so